Welcome to Purplish TV. Thank you for joining our discussion. Rage around you. If financial resources were the sole reason women are drawn to men, then every affluent individual would be joyfully paired, while each financially struggling man would remain solitary. However, you already recognize that this is not the reality, correct? You have observed average men with stunning partners and affluent individuals being overlooked, dismissed, or betrayed. The genuine inquiry is this: if it is not wealth, what truly leads a woman to select you, crave your company, and most crucially, commit to you? Stay engaged. Greetings to the channel. Today we will dismantle the greatest misconception men are fed regarding finances and attraction, the reasons why pursuing wealth for the sake of women can backfire, what truly influences a woman's choice in a partner, and much more. By the conclusion of this video, you will shift from prioritizing your finances to focusing on something much more impactful. So if you're prepared, let's get started. Financial wealth does not foster attraction. It enhances the essence of who you inherently are. Thus, you may have been informed explicitly or implicitly that once your finances are in order, other aspects concerning women will naturally align, confidence will emerge, attraction will flourish, respect will follow. However, life does not function this way. Money is not a character trait or a captivating aura. It is an enhancer. It merely amplifies what already exists within you. Now consider two distinct men. Let's first examine the man who is grounded. He is self-aware. He remains unshaken easily. He does not overreact when a woman withdraws. He refrains from pursuing when uncertainty arises. He has standards and is prepared to walk away if those standards are unmet. Now, when this man gains wealth, every aspect of him becomes increasingly appealing. His lifestyle advances, his opportunities broaden, but fundamentally, his energy remains unchanged. He continues to be composed, discerning, and in control. In contrast, look at a second man who struggles with self-doubt, overanalyzes situations, and requires persistent affirmation. If a woman delays her response, his thoughts spiral. When she distances herself, he becomes more insistent, striving to mend, demonstrate, and secure his position. Now, envision this man obtaining money. What occurs? He does not magically acquire confidence. He merely transforms into a more financially equipped version of the insecure individual he already is. Rather than excessive texting, he resorts to excessive spending. Instead of pursuing through conversation, he navigates through activities, gifts, and gestures. Such actions merely indicate that you are engaging in these because you expect something in return. This approach lacks appeal and comes off as transactional. Now I urge you to reflect on your situation. If you were to remove your finances, status, and ability to provide, would your mere presence be sufficient to maintain her interest? If your response is no, then money is not resolving your issue. It is merely concealing it, and ultimately such things inevitably come to light. This is precisely why you might observe men who are financially secure yet still face challenges in their relationships. They're perplexed as they've done what they believed they needed to do: accumulate wealth, achieve success, offer value. However, they have neglected to cultivate the aspects of themselves that actually foster attraction, confidence, emotional regulation, self-worth, and boundaries. You understand? While money can enhance these attributes, it cannot substitute for them. Thus, the key isn't to cease pursuing wealth. That's not the message being conveyed. The essential shift is to stop depending on money for the heavy lifting concerning attraction. If you do not address what lies beneath, money will not improve your dating experiences. It merely makes your errors more costly. Women do not find money inherently appealing. They are attracted to what money signifies. Therefore, most women are not thinking, I find him appealing due to his financial assets. Sure, some may feel that way, but that perspective lacks depth. It is too apparent and, more crucially, easy to imitate in the short term. What truly draws them in is what your financial situation represents about you as a man, and that's an entirely different scenario. When a man achieves genuine financial success, it typically indicates a number of deeper qualities. Do you know what it signifies? It signifies that he possesses discipline. It means he is capable of postponing gratification. It indicates that he can commit to something in the long run and see it through to the end. It also conveys problem-solving skills. It reflects competence and a degree of stability. These are immensely desirable qualities. However, herein lies the challenge for many men. They do not develop these qualities. Instead, they attempt to project the outcome. They seek the image of success without the internal groundwork that brought it about. So, what actions do they take? They lead with their wealth in a manner that seems performative, ostentatious, extravagant outings, attempting to dazzle instead of genuinely connect. On the surface, it may appear effective, as she will indeed show up, engage, appreciate the moments, and be present to enjoy your expenditures. But true attraction is not based on momentary satisfaction. It is established through ongoing emotional connections over time. This is where the reality, or perhaps the flaws, begin to emerge. Because when circumstances shift, when the excitement diminishes, and when the situation transforms into something more genuine and less manufactured, she starts to focus on you rather than what you offer. And if the foundational qualities are missing, interest will diminish. Now, I would like you to consider another aspect that many men tend to ignore. When your main contribution is financial, it cultivates a negative dynamic. Instead of being appreciated for your true self, you find yourself being assessed based on your resources, correct? Or what you can offer. Once this takes place, your authority in that relationship diminishes. Make no mistake, as the inquiry shifts to what additional qualities you possess. If the response reveals little aside from financial support, genuine attraction fails to grow. It stagnates, or even worse, becomes contingent. Let me pose a straightforward challenge. Have you ever felt obligated to maintain a certain level of expenditure or effort to keep a woman's engagement? If your answer is affirmative, then you were not fostering attraction, you were merely sustaining a transaction. And transactions do not forge emotional connections. What they instead cultivate are expectations. You see, when a man embodies the qualities that wealth is meant to represent, everything transforms. He does not require spending to validate himself. His actions already reflect discipline. His way of living signifies a certain degree of order. His choices demonstrate leadership. Thus, when he chooses to spend or support, it comes naturally. It aligns perfectly. It serves as an extension of his identity rather than a manipulation to allure a woman or win her over. Correct? That is when money genuinely enhances attraction rather than attempting to fabricate it. The provider trap that undermines attraction. This trap occurs when you begin to emphasize your ability to provide instead of your true self. It manifests when your worth in the relationship becomes linked to your efforts, generosity, and readiness to surpass the competition. Meanwhile, you may believe you're making progress with this woman. She seems appreciative, enjoys the gifts, and accepts everything you offer. But being appreciated is not the same as being attractive. Most men remain unaware that they have crossed that boundary until it is too late. I will guide you through how this unfolds in reality so you can grasp what I am conveying. A man encounters a woman he is genuinely interested in. He wants to differentiate himself, so he elevates his actions. He organizes dates, covers expenses, checks in, makes himself present, listens, and strives to be consistent, dependable, and supportive. On the surface, he has ticked all the boxes. He appears to be doing everything correctly. Yet beneath all of this, a nuanced shift is occurring. He is not merely giving because it reflects his nature. He is giving with an expectation attached. He desires her to acknowledge his worth. He hopes she will recognize his contributions. He wants those efforts to convert into attraction, affection, and commitment. And that anticipation alters his energy. Consequently, he begins to observe her responses with greater attention. His level of interest is a bit higher than hers. Now, when she withdraws, he tends to lean in more aggressively. Unbeknownst to him, he has positioned himself in a way where he seeks to gain something that should come naturally. That's the pitfall. You understand? Because the instant you attempt to garner attraction through what you provide, you diminish your influence within the exchange. A woman might appreciate your actions, yet not feel drawn to you. She may value your kindness and still experience no thrill. She may recognize your reliability and still decide not to commit to you long term. Attraction is unrelated to the amount you offer. It is rooted in how you make her feel when you are around. To illustrate this even more clearly, you've likely observed cases where a woman remains emotionally tied to a man who contributes far less. In some instances, his efforts may be noticeably inferior to yours, and yet she is more invested. She exhibits greater curiosity. She is attracted to him. Why is that? Because he has not placed himself in a situation where he must earn her focus. He operates from a standpoint of self-respect without overextending himself. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should not give. That is not the point being made. The concern lies not in giving, but in prioritizing giving as your chief form of value. Understood? When giving becomes your main approach, two outcomes will arise. First, you will draw the wrong crowd. Gold diggers, for instance. You will attract women who care more about your offerings than your true essence. Secondly, you will create a dynamic that turns your efforts into the standard. Once that threshold is established, you will have to continuously increase your input just to retain the same level of attention. And that is a futile endeavor. What genuinely draws women in when you are across from her? What is she truly reacting to? Keep in mind that attraction is founded on how you influence her feelings, not what you showcase as your assets. Those feelings stem from a distinct set of characteristics. Let me list them for you. First, your ability to maintain emotional stability. Generally, a man who is emotionally steady is uncommon, and due to its rarity, it holds appeal. It's easy to be calm when things are smooth sailing, you understand. But how do you respond when she retreats? When she puts you to the test, or when her affection fluctuates? Do you remain steady, or do you start reacting impulsively? Do you find yourself overthinking and sending multiple texts to resolve things right away, or do you allow for some space, stay composed, and how do you navigate situations without compromising your sense of self? That distinction is crucial. This is due to the fact that managing your emotions demonstrates power. Next, let's discuss your self-identity. All right? What I refer to is who you are independent of her. A man with a firm self-identity has his unique path, his distinct pace, and his life. He isn't relying on her approval to find his worth. She is becoming a part of his life without taking center stage. This shift establishes a distinct dynamic since she may feel the need to prove her worth in his realm, rather than him needing to fit into hers. Correct? That sense of pressure generates attraction. 3. Your capacity to foster emotional excitement. It's essential to evoke curiosity and unpredictability, creating instances where she's unsure of your thoughts. This isn't about confusion, but rather about intrigue. If everything about you is foreseeable, excessively available, and easily interpretable, tension is lacking. Without tension, there is no attraction. The level of attraction is closely linked to how emotionally involved she feels in your presence. 4. Your principles and limits are crucial. Indeed, they play a significant role. An individual who lacks boundaries can be simple to interact with, but challenging to hold in high regard. I have emphasized this repeatedly. If you accept everything, tolerate it all, and alter your behavior just to maintain her company, you send a clear message that signifies a lack of options. You convey that you don't believe you can find someone better. The instant she senses this, your worth diminishes. People are naturally attracted to those who value themselves. And the fifth point, your lack of attachment to results. When your emotional investment in her approval, the potential for a relationship, or her decision to stay becomes excessive, your behavior changes. You may grow overly cautious, more compliant, and reactive. You shift from playing to express yourself to playing not to lose, which hinders attraction. However, when you are less attached, it creates a stronger attraction because she perceives that she is choosing you rather than being persuaded by you. If you begin to realize where you might be going wrong, feel free to click that like button and subscribe to the channel, since many men remain trapped in this misconception. This misunderstanding is hindering their genuine chances with women. Focus on developing yourself first, and the rest will follow, including financial success and romantic interests. Everything converges here. Many men get the order wrong. They think the pathway is about earning money, attaining status, drawing in women, and building self-confidence. In truth, in my view, it works inversely. You should first cultivate your own character, and everything else will naturally follow. The attributes that lead to success in finances often parallel those that increase attraction with women. Traits such as discipline, focus, emotional regulation, decision-making skills, and consistency. So if you neglect personal development and instead chase external validation, you position yourself precariously. You might achieve financial success and gain attention, yet you'll struggle to maintain attraction since you lack the foundational strength to support it. Consequently, you may observe men who achieve financial success but still encounter difficulties attracting the right women. They continue to be manipulated. They remain perplexed about the reasons things don't appear to last, as achievement did not alter your true self. Instead, it merely provided additional means for you to conceal yourself. When you focus on developing the individual first, 3 outcomes occur naturally. Would you like to hear about them? To begin with, your expectations rise. You stop engaging in situations that drain your energy. Next, your ability to communicate enhances. You become more straightforward, precise, and centered. This clarity is appealing, as many men lack it. Finally, your overall presence transforms. Essentially, you no longer feel as though you are trying out for a role. This change influences how women respond to you. Developing yourself as a man takes time. Indeed, it is less showy, certainly. There are no instant rewards. Indeed, you won't receive immediate affirmation for adopting greater discipline or emotional resilience. Yes, however, these improvements accumulate. Eventually, they place you in a situation where shortcuts are necessary. I trust this video was useful. If so, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.